and welcome to Comics with Jose. My name is Jose. I love comics and I want to share them with you. Follow me on Twitter at Art of J Velez, on Instagram at jvelez622. We're going to review some comics that I like, that I love, and some that I don't like or love. I own all the comic books that I am showing. Even though we're going to be looking at them digitally, I actually have copies of every single comic book that we are going to review. Like and subscribe, and thanks for listening. Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me here today. I love comic books, I love talking about them, and I love Alex Ross. And I want to do something with Alex Ross. I have the original mini, and I have the first trade paperback that came out with it. But I found this at a used bookstore and just had to just said this would be the perfect. So I got this at a used bookstore. And this version, it's a 20th year anniversary. It's the deluxe edition, which features some sketch covers and stuff. And let me tell you, Alex Ross is so good, so talented. There's just not much I can say. So what we're gonna do is everybody knows what this series is about. It's a 4 issue limited series that came out. Oh, I want to say in 1996, late 90s, and it came out after Marvels and had already Alex Ross was already a superstar, and this thing just cemented his superstardom even further. It's an absolute masterpiece. It is written by Mark Waid, so let's also give Waid credit because the story is very well done also. So I'll tell everybody kind of a little bit as a story as we are looking through, but for the most part, we're just here to look at this amazing art by Alex Ross. So, what this is, it's a sort of an Elseworld. It's the future of the DC universe set about 20 years into the future of 96. So this would have been like 2016 at that time. So this dude is modeled after Alex Ross's own father. So that this guy is just phenomenal. So anyway, the it's about sort of what happens when the old superheroes meet the new superheroes. So just Alex Ross doesn't use watercolors. I know it looks like watercolors. He uses oh my god, I can't pronounce it. Gouache. I really don't know how to pronounce it. Look at that. So I took a look and it's pronounced gouache. So I was all off. So he uses gouache to color this, which is it's like watercolor, but paints drier and you can paint over it. So it doesn't, you're able to make corrections. So what this is essentially, so like I said, it's about 20 years into the future, and the older, more established superheroes have sort of gone into retirement, which gave rise to a new generation of sort of anti-heroes. This is like a take on what Image Comics was, in my opinion, because they're the ones that had that. They're the ones that sort of had created those anti-heroes, or so I think this is a take on that of what happens when tradition, you know, meets the new way of doing things. It's always a good story, old versus new, because you know what? It's always like that. Old and new will clash forever. It isn't a new concept. My generation clashed with the older generation, and this looks like George Bush, the father, and it's I don't know. It's generations will always clash between one another, just like baby boomers, I'm sure, clash with their generations. I mean, that hippie movement, and now all those hippies are baby boomers, and it just, it's all generations clash. So it's nothing new. It happens now. I'm Gen Z, and there's millennials, there's Gen X, there's still baby boomers around. There's just so many different. So there'll always be the this is a specter, by the way. So there's always going to be clashes. So this almost looks like Emperor Palpatine. So man, this guy I love. So if you notice here, there's like a glow almost, and I just love that he makes it glow. Just amazing. But yeah, when you look at the picture of Alex Ross's dad, which I think is in here toward the end, you'll be like, wow, it is amazing how Alex Ross. So this is Superman, and it looks like he's in Kansas working on the farm. And so the Spectre's taking him because again he hasn't been performing, and so Wonder Woman's coming to visit him, and this is look at this. And so what this is it wasn't really Kansas or anything. It's like some kind of matrixy type thing. Look at this. He my goodness gracious. Every look at the detail that he paints. Very cool. There is another project that I'm going to share with everybody called Justice. He was not he was the painter. He did not pencils it. He worked on top of somebody else's pencils. So it'll be very cool when you see Alex Ross paint over somebody, and he's here kind of watching all these things that's happening. If I remember correctly, a nuclear weapon. I haven't read this in forever, so you'll have to forgive me. A nuclear weapon, I believe, was the not a nuclear weapon. Captain Atom. Okay, so Captain Atom was blown up. So here's the parasite, and they're trying to attack him. And this guy is Magog. And one of the things that I never saw until I heard it in cartoonist kayfabe, uh, and it's the analogy that this dude is Cable, and I'm like, it totally is. So Cable from the New Mutants and Cable from the Marvel universe. But anyway, it's really funny. In all my years, I never made that connection, and they did. So this is like Captain Atom, and they split him open, and he explodes like a nuclear bomb. And look at this, just the scene of destruction and how Alex Ross just composes it. This is in Kansas, so it's a huge loss, and so she's basically pleading with Superman to return to help guide this new generation of superheroes. So, basically reform the Justice League. So, doesn't wanna tells Diana to go back to her island, that she'll be safe there, and she splits. Great Alex Ross is amazing. Look at that. Look at this. Just so. Um, what an artist. Each page is just a work of art. This is the Flash. He doesn't stay still, he's constantly moving. Now, I don't know how he would maintain the energy for that because it would be, but look at how he does that. He's just moving, 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 moving. That's so awesome. And you can see that he's just going through the going through the city. This is him. So anyway, this is Hawkman. So we're kind of checking up on how the heroes have been doing, and then here's Green Lantern. He basically sets up his own station. But here's the funny thing is, to me, and maybe it isn't, but to me he looks overweight. Even though he's wearing like a suit of armor, he looks overweight, which is one of the things. Like he's got old and overweight, so it's just kind of a. And then of course we got Aquaman. We got the so basically all the heroes of Legion. Everyone's gone. So and he's asking about Batman. So we all know that Batman never goes away. So one of the things is Tim, he co-created Batman the Animated Series. Bruce Tim. I was gonna call him Tim. Very, very cool with the just the glow. Anyway, he didn't like this suit, and Alex Ross said that if Bruce Timm would have shown him the Batman the Animated, the oh my goodness, what was the oh, Batman Beyond. If they would have shown him the Batman Beyond suit, he would have used it. So, but here Batman has created. You can see he's creating these things, and look at that. Batman has the city under control because Batman's a control freak. So, I'm gonna kind of hurry up a little bit, not too much, because I want us to just really be able to enjoy his art. But look at just the realism. It is. So his the guy that he models after his dad is a minister. So look at this. So it looks like Aquaman. That had to have been Aquaman, right? The water. Oh, maybe it wasn't. So Superman has returned, and I love the little black on the S. It was so different. It was so cool. It definitely gave him an edge. And I know that a lot of people will disagree, but I love the underwear on the. It's just the only way to, you know, the new 52 got rid of it, but they brought him back. Never mess with the classics. So look at this. So chapter 2. Look at that is so cool. So this kind of is dealing like with the Armageddon or kind of thing. It's the analogy of it. So of course they bring in anytime you bring in the old, a lot of the new kind of rebels. So it deals with a little bit of that, but it's kind of like a precursor to The Boys. If you if you watch that show, which is also based on a comic book. So Amazing. So, even though what I'm mostly trying to do here is show you this beautiful art, I'm also trying to give you a little bit of the story because despite the fact that Alex Ross's art is so beautiful, I want to give Mark Waid some credit because the story is very, very good. And I strongly suggest that if you have never read this, to go buy it and go read it. It is a really good story. It's one of my I put it in my top 25. So it's one of the top 25 best things done in comic books. And a big part, the story is good, but Alex Ross just elevates it to a huge thing. So here's kind of where all the people are just always scheming in the background. And this is true of society. It isn't that Republican scheme. It isn't that Democrat scheme. It's that everybody schemes. Human beings are human, and we're good at being human. And human beings in their history, doesn't matter whether it's today, tomorrow, yesterday. You can see here Superman from all the, or sorry, Batman. This is Bruce Wayne here. From all the years that he has been Batman, he's so hurt that he needs an exoskeleton basically to stay together. So, but human beings always scheme, and human beings all crave power, and those in power want to keep power, and those that have no power want power. Few people are complicit. The ones that you refer, some people are sheep, some people are wolves. So when you see even there in the scheming of things, that's how humans are. So Mark Waid is just showing you that even there's always people scheming in the background, looking for stuff. So I think this is Green Arrow. This is, I think, the Blue Beetle. This is Green Arrow, and this is Dina Lance. I think that's Black Canary. So here's Doctor Fate's helmet. I wish they would have had Firestorm. Firestorm's, like I said, Firestorm's a character that I really like. Look at this, a tribute to Action Comics 1 and Detective Comics 27. And one of the, I think, Sensational Comics 1. So I love the warrior princess that they portray Wonder Woman as. So Power Girl. I don't know who this is. So Alex Ross just does. I mean, this had to have taken such a long time to get all these 4 issues done. And it weren't just issues; they were oversized. I mean, this is he drew probably the equivalent of 8 issues or so. So he kills his secretary because she didn't bring the enough of the or she brought the wrong amount of sugar. So these are kind of the bad guys. And here's Lex Luthor. And then this is Oh, I forgot his first name, but anyway, there's Lex Luthor. So here are kind of all the sort of the bad guys meeting because the superheroes are back. And so, like I always said, people always, and that's Catwoman. And this is Ra's al Ghul's, the whoever's son or something. So I'm just kind of going giving you just a glance. Like I said, I'm not really trying to. I want to give the story credit too, but this big thing is about Alex Ross's art. So he calls. He's gonna get a shave, and of course it's Shazam or Captain Marvel. He is working for Luthor. So he hasn't been. He's been Shazam now for or Captain. It's very diff because his name is Captain Marvel, but I think now they call Shazam. So here's the creeper, and um, I love how everybody looks when Superman walks in. So Shazam is what he's called now, but his name has was Captain Marvel for the longest time. So Lobo here. He hasn't been. He's been Captain Marvel now and hasn't returned to Billy Batson. Very similar to Miracle Man. So or Kid Miracle Man. So that's also a good one. And when Marvel re-released it, I got the Marvel issues. So we might break this one up a little bit because we're now at 20 minutes and I'm still just in part two. Um, and so here's Magog, who is feeling guilty for everything that's happened. And so he's trying to do what's right, even though all these things. And he's basically saying, Superman, it's your fault for leaving. So, and he ended up killing the Joker. So, and by the way, look at Alex Ross's older version of Joker. He ended up killing the Joker, which is everything that happened. And Superman, I love he's wearing the ponytail. He's acquitted despite, and that's what caused Superman to leave. He says he just didn't want to be in that kind of society where heroes are out there killing villains. So he left them directionless. So this is, like I said, the story is also incredible. Um, I just I just recommend everyone get this series because it is just remarkable. So here's Apocalypse because we always have to have the some kind of Kirbyism into it, and this looks like Darkseid, but you know we're not gonna have the reveal yet, but it is right here. It is Orion who looks just like Darkseid. Remember, Orion is Darkseid's son, so he is now the leader of Apocalypse. So, huh, very very nice. Look at all this detail here. So here's Big Barda. Just the realism that Alex Ross uses is so refreshing. So, of course, here's all the villains scheming, and here is Bruce Wayne and the other the human heroes here joining the villains. So, huh, with Batman and Luthor shaking hands. So, all right, we're gonna end it here. It's going to be about 25 minutes, so I don't want to make these too long. So I will do another one continuing the last two chapters. Like and subscribe. Thanks for listening, and go buy this series.